Greetings, this is Perfruby, the Nostalgic Catholic, with another Isaac Asimov short story review. This one is, in fact, about what's on the title of this book, The Key Word and Other Mysteries. This story was actually originally released in this book, so it doesn't have a magazine release wherein that would be preceded. It was also the last of the stories to be collected into this volume, before starting another volume for some more Larry the Detective stories that would come later on. So the key word is a relatively simple story. Let's see. He gathers that into Asimov's mystery. However, he does do that. So let's take a look at that. He has a short little introductory, and this is all he has to say. A little blurb here. It says, "This is another Larry story. Some reviewers seem to think that Larry is an insufferable kid and wonder how his father can stand him. As a matter of fact, anyone that smart is bound to be insufferable, and I make it quite plain that his father, in between being proud of him, tends to get exasperated with him. It doesn't bother me. I was that bright when I was a kid, and quite insufferable, and I managed to survive. And my father even liked me part of the time, I think. I would hope his father liked him. I mean, I'm not sure how keen his father was on seeing him set up Christmas trees when his kids were little, which he did do, which they got big enough they were kind of past that. So, I mean, you gotta remember, his father's a real rock solid Jew, you know? What are you doing this non-Jewish thing for? We've got Hanukkah. What are you doing this other stuff for? Grateful kid. Well, I don't know. He probably took it better than that, but I don't know. That's probably a little detail they kept. The kids kind of didn't have grandfather around when the presents were being opened, if you know what I mean. Be all that as it may. Keyword. Let's get to it. The keyword is, you got Larry the Detective just sitting at the dinner table, I guess, waiting for dinner, and the paper was there, and he's got the paper there. And his dad comes in and rips it. "What are you doing that for? Take that away!" And what's going on? Even his mother's wondering, what's going on? I mean, it was on the table. Turns out this paper had been in the hands of somebody they were very suspicious of, that they might be using something in this paper as part of a secret code. But they couldn't find any special markings at all. The only thing they did find was that somebody had started the crossword puzzle. Now, I'm no expert in crossword puzzles. I've never done, the ones you find in the newspaper. I've seen them, but I've never bothered to actually try to do one of them. And I don't know. The way they have it here is you look at what day of the month it is, and then you go to a number, that number either down or across, whichever one exists, or maybe the across if they both exist, and you use that word as some sort of a key word to crack a code. You could change this code every day. Not bad, you see, because it could be pretty random. In fact, that's really not a bad way to do stuff, but at any rate, you get a code, and that's how, I guess, some group of villains, bad guys, spies, I don't know what or who, could use to communicate to each other. Pretty clever, you see. Like, you could do a code like this. You take a word, like let's say it's the 27th of the month. So you look at that, and the 27 across happens to be the word Bleak House, because the clue for that says Charles Dickens' biggest novel was underscore like a big blank, and then house. And if you know Charles Dickens' works, you would know it's Bleak, B-L-E-A-K, Bleak House. Then you got a secret message. What you do is you write the letters under each letter of your message, B-L-E-A-K, B-L-E-A-K, underneath each letter of the message you want to say. And what you do is, if it's a B, you move to the next letter. So like, let's say the first letter of your secret message is an M. It goes to an N. Or let's say now L, that's the 12th letter. So that would be, if the next letter was I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, it moves further along. And then now you have an E, it's 5. Now A would be right on the same one, so there would be no change. But it's only one letter out of how many letters in the word. And then there'd be K, and that would be so many letters off. And then you do the same thing, B, L, E, A, K. You just keep using this code over and over again. So you get this random string of letters that's impenetrable. Unless you know the secret code, and that is to say, well, this is on the 27th of our current month. You look through the crossword puzzle in the New York Times and find 27 across or down, and then you get the word for that, and then you just write that word over and over again, and you could use that to encode or decode your secret code. Pretty clever, huh? So anyway, Larry the detective figures that much out, and his father takes the idea, and apparently good came of it. The ending's a little unsatisfactory in that regard. I'll read it and you'll see what I mean. So, Larry had the paper because he was also doing the crossword. Fortunately, Larry did his work in the crossword in pencil. The person had done it in pen. That's good. Okay. So he says, that wasn't all there was to the case, but they did break the code. Dad got a bonus, and he put it in the bank toward my college education. He said it was only fair. Yeah. And that's what we got. Thanks for listening.